Okay, we've built our elevation wall and now we're ready to put a window treatment on that window. In the last lesson we saved our file. Now to reopen it we can click on File, Open Recent File, and here it is, the elevation file. There you go. And you can see that the name of the file is displayed at the top of the program. Now remember that we had created our wall on layer 1 and we want to design on layer 2, so we're going to open up the layers window on the right. And remember, if you want more detailed information on using layers, you can always view the tutorial that is on our website or check out the quick reference guide. Alright, so I'm going to click on the Layers tab here on the right, and to keep it open, I will click on the middle icon. There. Notice that Layer 1 is locked. That way I won't detect the wall or the window, and I won't chance moving it by mistake. But I want to design on Layer 2, so make sure that you highlight Layer 2. Otherwise, any of your designs will by default go on to Layer 1. So make sure to highlight Layer 2. Now I'm ready to start designing, and I'm going to go into the design library here on the left. Now we have a very detailed tutorial that talks about all the features of the design library, so I'm not going to repeat that information here. Now I'm going into the Designs with Components category. These are the fully completed designs. And for this example, I want to pull up a swag design. There you go. Remember, we have fully completed designs which are in this category here at the top, but we also have the individual components which are down here. But I'm interested in a completed design, a completed swag design that is of the Empire Kingston style. So I'm going to click here. Now remember, the design library has the designs categorized by header style here. I'm interested in this particular Kingston style. So click on the style in the browser window and it will appear in your preview window. And there's a lot of useful information here that is reviewed in detail in the tutorial on the design library. And if you see the gold buttons, just click on them. You will see all the components and related designs that go with that style, all in one convenient place. And you can see here that this style actually comes with longer tails, but I'm really interested in the basic design, so I'm going to drag it right onto my canvas, and then I'll close the browser window. Alright, I'm ready to start designing. Now remember, you want to be on layer 2 when you're designing. And if I highlight my design at the bottom of my browser, it will tell me that that particular design or component is on layer 2. Now I want to zoom in so I can see this a little bit better, so I will click on my magnifying glass here with the plus sign. And you can keep clicking on it until you get the view that you want. And maybe I'll go a little bit closer. There. That works. Now, I like to fill my designs with color or fabric before I actually start applying it to the window. Everybody has their own style, but that is my style. So I am going to fill this with fabric. Now you can fill it with your own custom fabric that you can apply into the custom swatch library. We do have a very detailed tutorial that tells you exactly how to do that. In this example though, I'm going to fill it with one of the cashmere swatches that come with Dream Draper. So I'll click on cashmere. Now, the Cashmere and Lady Anne libraries are provided to you for convenience. They give you something to practice and play with immediately when you first learn how to use Dream Draper. But the real convenience is the ability to add your own fabric. As mentioned earlier, we have a separate detailed tutorial that tells you how to add your own fabric, and you do want to look at that. And the real convenient thing is you only have to do that once. Once you have input your own fabric and scaled it, then you can use that on many, many jobs. That fabric will stay in the program until you decide to delete it. Now, I've scrolled down towards the bottom of the Cashmere library, and I see the swatch that I want to use, which is this one here, the Wilkes Linen. My treatment is already highlighted on the canvas, so in order to apply the fabric, all I have to do is double click. There. Or I could have clicked on the Apply button at the bottom. But you can just highlight your swatch and double click. Okay, I can close my swatch library. Now, I know from this window, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the window. I know from the size of the window that I'm going to need a larger window treatment. I know that I will want to have 3 swags instead of the 2. So I'm going to manipulate this treatment. So let me zoom in one more time so we can get a closer look at this treatment. All right, I want 3 swags. What I can do now is I can ungroup the treatment. My treatment is highlighted, and as you can see, it acts as a single object. I can move it all with one move of the mouse. Now, what I want to do is I want to ungroup it, so I will click on this icon up here. That's my ungroup icon. There. Now you can see all the different components. Where I had one object, now I have multiple objects. After you ungroup, it's important then to do the click away. That is, click anywhere on the empty canvas so that nothing is highlighted. Then you can come in and select whichever component you want to work with. So remember, and I'm going to highlight all these objects again, this is what it looks like after I've ungrouped. So after you ungroup, do the click away so that nothing is highlighted. Now that I've ungrouped my design, I can then add another swag section, and I want to add another horn or jabot. So I'm going to lasso the pieces that I want. There, and those pieces have been highlighted. I can copy and paste. And because the 3 pieces are highlighted, I can move them at the same time with my mouse, and I'll just move them into place like that. There, that looks great. Now actually, I've got my horn here, or jabot, and actually you can see the end cascade right here, the tip of it. And I can really leave it on because you can barely see it. But if I wanted to delete that cascade or tail that's in the back, then I can do the following. Now remember, it's this cascade right here that was copied. And the original one is sitting right back here. You can see the very tip of it. If I wanted to delete it, I can take my mouse and I can lasso it. Now notice, two objects got highlighted, the horn in the front and the cascade in the back. Depress your finger on the Shift key and then click on the horn. There, my horn got deselected, and the only thing that is now highlighted is the cascade sitting in the back. Now I can delete it, but what I want to do, because it's difficult to see, I'm going to use my arrow key on the keyboard, and I'm going to just nudge it down a little bit so you can see that cascade that was sitting behind the horn. I'm just nudging it ever so slowly with the down arrow key on my keyboard. And you can see that cascade in the back is highlighted. That lasso technique allowed me to highlight it even though it was in the back. I kept my finger on the Shift key and deselected the horn that was in the front. And I'm just lowering that cascade so you can see it, and then I'll go ahead and delete it.